welcome to another episode of Indian Creek Bowhunting Journal. We are the day after the peak of the rut, so it's been hard finding a buck. First of all, because I've been sicker than a dog. I've been out of the property here since December 1st now. And this is the 5th. I've been in and out of bed every day. I slept most of the morning. Shot a doe last night. Felt miserable while I was butchering that doe. But we are feeling good enough to get out for the first time on this trip. And I'm headed to the blind where I've seen the biggest buck so far. That was on November 2nd at the south blind. Looks like about a 4.5-year-old deer. Other than that, I've got some 3.5-year-olds and maybe a 4.5-year-old at the north blind. And it was a toss-up between those two today. But wind is kind of iffy on the south blind. We're going to go over there and see which direction the wind's going. If not, I might have to go to the middle blind. Let's see. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Hopefully we get us a big buck down.
As kids get married, when parents are buried, as grandkids appear, life sometimes austere. But one thing I know, this life is not slow. It's Jesus I'll follow. So life is not hollow. What about you?
Rewind to that same morning, and I was actually in the cabin blind, still kind of reeling from being sick. And I did have this buck come in, and I thought for a second there he was a shooter. Then when he got in closer up to the feeder, I could tell he's probably a 3.5-year-old. Decent sized buck, but he needs another year or two for sure. Weather's terrible. It's almost 70 degrees. But hey, it's peak of the rut was yesterday. So we've got about a week and a half, maybe 10 days of the rut falling off dramatically. So these bucks ought to be up around and cruising, hopefully before the sun goes down. But there is headed towards a full moon, which could be trouble. Only had a couple of doe come in that evening, and so it was back to the cabin. So I was out in the blind the next morning and didn't do an interview, but this guy came in, along with a spike. I didn't get any video of the spike, but I was trying my best to try to get him to turn around and come back. He set out at about 70 yards just sniffing around over there by a scrape. But unfortunately, I couldn't get him to come back. I tried my best. Tried a little bit of rattling when he disappeared as well, but only got that spike to come running back, and that was it. Anyways, I'll be back at it again tonight. Most of the doe seem to be hanging out at the cabin, so I'll probably sit at the cabin and try to shoot a doe tonight. Right on cue, these doe show up and start eating. I waited for a long time, and I figured since there's only 3 of them this evening, they're probably not going to come up closer where I've got some feed as well. So I waited about 10 minutes and decided I was going to go ahead and take that shot at about 33 yards. So watch this play out. think I hit her. I don't know, that was a 30, 33, 34 yard shot. And I tried to aim. I aimed not quite low enough because she nearly ducked that arrow. It's going to be high lung probably. Well guys, that shot is back. But the arrow hit exactly where I was aiming. If you notice when I was aiming for the knuckle of the elbow on this deer. She was 33 yards, and I was expecting her to duck big, but not only did she duck big, but she moved forward quite a bit. So it hit her. There's a chance I could have got top lung, but it looks too far back for lung for me, so it's probably going to be liver. At least a 4 hour wait, so we're going to wait about 4 hours. Problem is, we've been having troubles with coyotes really bad. Every morning, every evening, I'm hearing them yipping and yapping like real close right here to the cabin. And so chances of a deer surviving all night long with coyotes out there like that is slim, very slim. Probably just be nothing but bones if I wait till morning. So I'll give her 3 to 4 hours and just kind of listen for coyotes, because it's pretty close to the cabin here. Hopefully she didn't run more than 100 yards, maybe 200 yards. And I'd be able to hear them if they're yipping and yapping. I'll go out there if they're yipping and yapping. So we're headed out. It's been about 3 hours since I shot that doe. We're gonna head out there and see if we can find some blood. Definitely looks like liver blood. There's no gut smell on it. So this is definitely liver. I've got a blood-soaked arrow, but no blood on the ground anywhere going out for 50 yards. And I got coyotes yipping and yapping and howling all around me. They just shut up when I turned the camera on. Probably hear me talking. But man, if that doe lays down and dies, I doubt there's going to be any meat left by morning. I think I just found my doe. All them buzzards. I had searched to this point right here. This is about 300 yards, and she went 350. I bet you she's over here because all them buzzards are here. Hopefully there's still some meat left. It's about mid-afternoon, and there's the doe I shot last night. Just found them with all these buzzards around here. And they've eaten her out pretty good. And it's 75 degrees right now. I don't think this meat's going to be any good, so I'm not going to fool with it. I don't want to get sick. What a shame. But it's the way it goes, man. That arrow hit right where I was aiming. Unfortunately, she jumped out of the way. I guess we're going to close this out. I don't know if this may be the last video that I post. I bought some, about 17 acres in Oklahoma, and I'm going to be heading up there on Monday to try to get a logger to thin it because it's way too thick, and start setting that up for hunting. So you might see that in future years, but it's not set up for hunting right now for sure. But future years, hopefully, and so we'll see you down the road.